folks? I am Ultrazilla, and today I have a review of the Neca Illustrated King Kong. That's right, my zillions, we have the variant edition of Neca's Kong, which was my favorite figure of last year. Will this one come close? I don't know, it's a little bit odd for that. So what we got here is an illustrated version of Kong. Though we don't know for sure what it appears to be based on the Basil Gogos painting. Though I do see elements from other posters in this one as well. And there's nothing, as you're going to see now in our box art nerd segment, on the packaging that says otherwise. So it's an odd thing. You can pre-order this anywhere now. It was a Walmart exclusive with a limited exclusivity, but that's neither here nor there. Without any further ado, let's get to the review. Let's kick things off with a little box art nerd, shall we? I do like the front of this box. It looks very nice. You have a shot of the toy right there, front and center, looking pretty good. I like how King Kong, the logo, is done here. Not bad. Here it is, not skewed up. Another shot of Kong there. I guess the lighting here is pretty good. This looks pretty good. Get that Real Toys logo still there. Always have, yet never ever focus on. I don't know. Everything on the back looks pretty good. You know, I always have I either like these or don't, but this time I think they did really well, and maybe they're listening to me. I doubt it, but hey, you never know. Because I think this design looks pretty good in relation to what you're getting. It looks like a nice brush stroke all around, and that is pretty slick, and you get different looks for Kong there. And here you have a nice shot of Kong looking like the, sort of, the Basil Gogos illustration from Famous Monsters of Filmland, which I believe this figure is in part a tribute to that, but I think it's also in part a tribute to some older posters that I've seen. Here's the who, what, when, whys, and what, and who done it. The who's done it, right in there. Right there, you got that, and then you got Kong in here, and me. Look, hey! But yeah. Looking good so far. Looking good. Yeah, it's not bad. It's just interesting to me that nowhere does this say that this is a poster version or a illustrated version. Everybody's just calling it that, but nowhere on this packaging, anywhere, does it mention that. Everybody's just taking a guess here. Everybody's just taking a guess. So your guess is as good as mine. Though, when you do look at this, you do get that Basil Gogos feel to it. But we'll talk about that as we go. Okay, let's get articulation out of the way next. Head is on a hinged ball joint, so can move around a bit. Then the shoulders move out, and they swivel. You get a bicep swivel. Now, I had a lot of stuck joints on this one. Definitely want to mention that the elbow is double jointed, which is a little odd the way they did it, but it's fine. And then hinged swivel at the wrist, which is a little tight still. You get really nice body rotation here, ab rotation. I really do dig it. Moves really smoothly. Now this is the point, well, the shoulders were a little tight too, but this is the point here where I had the most problems. Right out of the box, this leg was just like totally turned inward, and it was totally stuck. So a lot of heat had to be applied before I was able to get this freed and able to rotate like so, which is good. ratcheted hip joints for that much of a split. Kicks forward, goes back. I love that ratchet. This one was a little better, but they were both stuck. Double jointed knee, little tight still. And then you get some rocker at the foot, and it should go back and forth a little bit, but not, yeah, there is a hinge there, but oh, super tight still. So I'm gonna refrain from doing that. Obviously gonna need some more heat here, but yeah, more tighter on this figure. I wonder if that's because of more paint. A lot of Neca's problems with that usually stems from too much paint in the joints. So this one's definitely tighter than the original one for me. So taking a look at Kong in full, if you didn't see my first review, the proportions are pretty good. Arms might be a tad long, but it works. It works. And the look is phenomenal. I mean, I love this sculpt. It is really, really nice. You know, like you could just look at it, like from the toes, done very well. Beautifully sculpted all the way up the legs. The fur looks phenomenal. Here's the backside, you see the joints, but that's fine. I like how the fur hangs down here over his buttocks. And this is soft plastic, which was a nice touch. This whole piece here is soft plastic. Really nice touch, so you're able to move the joints in and out a little bit better. I do like that. Fur looks great though. It's all sculpted well, beautiful detail. Chest looks good. He does have that scarring right there, which is cool, which makes this kind of a hybrid Kong. And the sculpt work all through the arms look good. Fists looks amazing. We'll look at the other hands in a little bit, but the fists are really nicely done. The nails are really nicely done. Not talking about the paint quite yet. Just talking about the sculpt, giving you a, you know, an overview of the sculpt because it's really good. Back, you see like some muscles here through the paint, which looks really good. Just to have a different approach than the original review. And then this head sculpt I really like. I really do. It looks really good. Very 33 Kong-esque. Very nicely done. The details are phenomenal. And now let's get to the paint, because that is the big difference here. And it looks really cool. Initially, I did not love it when I first saw it, but the more I did see it, the more I'm like, I think I'm gonna like this. And once I got it in hand, yeah, I like it. I think it's a cool idea. You know, they do these, like, whether it's the arcade versions or like the poster versions, pretty well. I do like when Neca does this. You know, who could blame him for wanting more out of the mold, right? You know, it's expensive to do these things, to tool these things up. So yeah, I don't mind it. Teeth look really nice, really nicely sculpted, nicely painted. I do like it. And now this one, really, like, this head sculpt is pretty perfectly that Basil Gogos. And it's done really well. You get the little black over there, and the way the yellow goes above his brow, the more yellow on this side, it's more light on this side. I think they did a pretty good job with that. Really interesting colors throughout. The pinks, the reds, the blues underneath, the yellows look phenomenal. Then you get the reds up here, weirdly put on, like tribal almost. All of this here in yellow looks pretty cool. That goes down to the shoulders, which does give the arms a really awesome look as far as how the paint affects the fur. I do really dig it. On the back, you get some more of that paint as well. It's a little bit lighter, a little bit more orange here, and then here it starts to be a little touch of green with blues, which looks cool. You still get that here, the blues and the, you know, light greens together. It's like a yellowish green. I said mostly yellow, but it's a yellowish green, I gotta say. Goes all the way through the fur. You can see the blues there, and then on the inside, it's got more of this kind of orangish, a little bit of pink over here, pink in here, blues. So cool. I do dig it. I do dig it. You know, you got a lot of different colors here. It's all meeting up. The lights, you know, the hots and the colds. You got that on this side again, which is the opposite of this side. See that? And then this side is that. Really nicely done. You could tell whoever did paint this does understand how the shading would go. I do think that's pretty cool. And then you get it all down here on the leg, down to the feet. And that looks really good on the feet. Over here, you got the blue color. So if you're looking at it from this side and he's walking, you see blues, 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 and that little bit of green. And then you turn him around this side, walking, and he's got, you know, more of the oranges and the yellows. So hot and cold, and I dig it. I think it's really, really nicely done. Yeah, I like it. Again, is it fully Basil Gogos? I don't know, because I've seen many paintings of Kong. The head for sure is, but both of the paintings up close from him, and this too to sight, like you only see the upper part of him. So the rest is either, you know, something they did on his own, but again, there's a couple of posters. There's one where, you know, Kong is like this, and it's further back on the building, that have that look too. So I wouldn't doubt that Neca looked, and their sculptors and painters here, and well, the painters, whoever painted this, like, looked at multiple things as an influence. Again, nothing says what it's based on the packaging at all. It's not given. So, you know, it's for us to speculate, but definitely the head is that Basil Gogos, and it looks really great. For accessories, you get these open hands here, like gripping, holding hands, and you can see, not really holding hands, but like fighting hands in a way, that paint scheme continues here. So you get the orange and you get the more blue, and you turn them around and you get that. So that's really cool, really well done, perfectly in line with everything else. So really cool, and the sculpt is beautiful on these guys. And we do get the roaring head sculpt, which looks really cool. Again, similar paint scheme, sort of. It's done a little bit differently, but it should be a little bit different, you know, because the mouth is open, and you see a lot of black around the gum line, and the tongue has some blue in it, which I don't think this one does. It does not. So this one is done a little bit differently, guys. So it's made to match the body, you know, but there's some differences in paint here, differences on top. The eyes actually have a lot of pink in them on this one. Which does this one? Has a little bit, but not a lot. This one has a lot. So yeah, it's a little bit different, but it's in line, and it's good. It's a really nice sculpt. I do like it a lot. And there you have it. A really cool alternate head. For your size comparisons, here's Kong with a bunch of figures you might have in your collection. But of course, here's a quick shot with the original. And you can see, like, the original, obviously, they focused on the all the cuts and stuff on his chest, and more blood on the face, where this one doesn't highlight those at all on the chest. The sculpt is there, of course, but it's not really highlighted, and it just chooses to focus on different things on the new one. This one's amazing. This was my favorite figure of last year. Will this make the tops of this year? I don't know. I still think it's amazing. But we'll see how it affects, this paint scheme affects everything overall. But really cool. I'm glad that the paint really makes it feel a little bit different, enough so where it's kind of cool to have them both in the collection. And my final thoughts, I like this thing a lot more than I expected to like it, so that is fantastic. Hooray! Good job, Neca. You got a really cool variant out of this mold. One that I didn't expect. I expected a black and white one, and I hope that you guys give us a black and white one. I mean, that would be insane not to just do a black and white of this, but this is cool. I do dig it. It's fun to look at, and it makes for a nice little bit of a different look on my Kong shelf. So kudos. Very cool, and kudos to the eBay seller that sold me this for cost plus shipping. That was really an awesome deal, and I'm very happy about that. So there you go, guys. That's my review. Hope you dug it. Let me know your thoughts below, and if you please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Check me out on Facebook and Instagram. Stay safe. Till next time. Peace out, peeps.